Some artists secure an apotheosis in one work that exemplifies their thoughts and exhibits their talents in that single compression. Some songs are defined by a single performance. One singer will carry that tune for all time. Other singers can cover it if they choose, but their version only reminds people who hear it of the one true original standard. Roy Orbison comes to mind with Pretty Woman, Paul McCartney with Yesterday, Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman, the Rolling Stones in Satisfaction, Eminem with Lose Yourself, Michael Jackson and Billie Jean. Why anyone else would want to sing those songs is a challenging question. The only answer that comes to mind is that they think enough time has passed and people have forgotten. But Sweet Dreams, those words, that sound, will always belong to the Eurythmics. I could go on. The list is practically endless. All of the great singers like Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton, and Taylor Swift will have a song or two that they own. And this is true of Otis Redding and his song, The Dock of the Bay. It's a mournful tune, to say the least. Redding recorded it after staying in a houseboat for a while. He showed up at a studio with a few lines in his head and an idea for a song, and Stax's record producer and musician, Steve Cropper, helped to punch out the rest of it. The two of them, accompanied by a machine to fill in for the ocean, along with a piano and horns, recorded it with Otis on the vocals and Cropper playing the squeaky, plaintive guitar. The song fades away with Otis whistling, originally at the start of the tune, but reset to the end. Redding died in a plane crash 3 days after that recording. The song jumped to #1 in both the U.S. and the U.K. It was not exactly his style of rhythm and blues. It wasn't even what they were calling soul, and it was depressing. His label was not excited about the song, but they couldn't argue with the results. Redding had a solid career, and other hits like Try a Little Tenderness and I've Been Loving You Too Long. But when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it wasn't for the body of work. It was for that one song, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay. A bass line leads into it, the tune is catchy, and the lyrics are emotional thanks to Redding's voice. But it's hard to account for the enormous popularity of the song because it's so pathetic, almost bitterly so. The singer is a deadbeat, a total loser, defeated by life, at the end of his rope, too lethargic to take his own life, possibly blaming the 10 people who are telling him what to do, as if anyone would care enough to do that, and the future looks as bleak as the past. I got nothing to live for, looks like nothing gonna come my way. Rarely has despair been so well rewarded. I would hear this song, even now, and understand that it is famous, but I don't quite know why. I want to say, Otis, Mr. Pitiful, come on, man, get up off your ass and do something. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Opportunity is not going to come knocking out on that pier. But he knows that. It's why he's out there. He doesn't want to do anything except feel sorry for himself. That's all he's got. He might be in the same condition today, but I don't think he'd be sorry or lonely. He'd have a lot of company. He'd have permanent unemployment benefits, too. He'd be on some other support systems as well. He'd have health care coverage and some place to rest his bones beside the dock. A car, cell phone, large screen plasma TV with satellite hookup. Curiously, as a strategy for getting on in life, this one has paid off. By remaining the same, he's done pretty well, just watching the tide roll in, then watching it roll away again. It turns out that sitting on the dock of the bay is a good answer for when people ask you what it is you do for a living. Wasting time. But who am I to judge? I was one more highly privileged white kid in a college when Otis sang that song. Maybe it is a fair and hauntingly accurate portrait of the black man's position in American society circa 1968. Marginalized, ostracized, paralyzed. He didn't choose to be out there. He was put there. A limbo, sort of like what they call today, time out. There was back then that famous seat on the bus. There was also this perch, its dark twin, off the edge of the continent. Those who haven't sat on that seat have nothing to say about it. I can, however, say this. White Wedding belongs to Billy Idol.